When did the Westgate attack happen?
I think, let me make my math. I think 2013, around
2013.
Yes.
2013.
Mhm.
So on that day, so what happened? Of course, these 4 guys came in, started shooting everyone and everything, and then eventually they started separating the Muslims from the non-Muslims, and they started killing the non-Muslims. So Al-Shabaab. Wacha nisinge Islam, but they are following what their law tells them to kill the infidels. So wameingia mall, shooting everyone, but then see, it's a huge mall. Kuna different shops, supermarket stores. So kitu ilikuwa imehappen because kulikuwa na confusion. Wase wako wanajua ni wase wangapi wako hapo, our attackers ni wangapi, what kind of weapons they have, who an attacker might be, nikichomoa kichwa hivi naweza. So guys were hiding and guys were cornered in, walikuwa wana nini in like crime. So wase walikuwa wanatembea wakiwatafuta. Let me give you 2 scenarios. The first one, a lady, ya kwanza ni fictional, ya pili ni ukweli. The first one, kuna dem walijipata wamejificha na boy, hawa wawili tu. And you know how long that siege lasted, days.
Yes.
Na ile place walikuwa wamejipata wamejificha ilikuwa kwa supermarket karibu na freezer. And so huo boy alikuwa na dem. The boy would give her his jacket, anamfunika nayo, anailalia nini, when she was cold, and when it was time to eat and there was nothing to eat, the boy would leave her like hapo in a safe place and go and crawl and look for food and then come back and give her and stuff like that. On the final day, a military guy walks in and rescues them. So of course kumekuwa neutralized, wanaingia kitafuta watu. So military wakaingia, kachukua wakawasave and they took them away. Now after hiyo process, the guy who was with her the whole time proposed. But also the guy she was with, the guy who rescued them, the military guy, also proposed. Who do you think this girl said yes to?
I'd say military guy.
The military guy, mwenye alikuja akawa save. Okay. Sawa. Who do you think would have been the right person to say yes to?
The person who they've been together for the whole time.
The person who they've been together the whole time. Okay. Nimesema this part of the story, this one I've made up. Because sometimes we wonder why God is silent during our suffering. Yet the better person, if God just came at the end of the day and rescued us, versus if God was with us through the suffering and the toiling and the nini, then we'd love God more, this second version, than we would love the one who just came and rescued us. And I guess sometimes that is why God allows us to go through stuff zenye tunapitia, so that we can get to love him more.
Okay, my perspective, why I'll choose the person who rescued. Human mind forgets.
Human minds forget.
Yeah.
And that's how we are.
So we always remember the last thing that happened to us, like the immediate thing that has happened.
And how do we think God feels about that when he has been with us the whole time? Alafu we just... Anyway, Director Mose, take it away. Okay, so back to my story, the true part now. So wase wa Al-Shabaab wameingia, wameattack, na wase wako held up in corners. And so wanaenda wakiuliza wase, are you a Muslim? If you're not a Muslim, papa, unamalizwa. And so my friend, she happened to be Nidim. She happened to, okay, sign him, she's a mom, but she happened to be in one of these places with a group of people, walikuwa kadhaa. And among them, there happened to be one who was a Muslim. And so what this Muslim was doing, this Muslim was teaching them a prayer and wanafaa recite. So when they come, they'll ask if you're a Muslim. And the first way they'll want to know if you're a Muslim, they might ask you a few questions, but they'll tell you to recite this one. Because any Muslim can recite this prayer. Wanapewa mwa Kenya. So wase wanalana. But for her, she decided, I won't learn it. I won't recite it. In that situation, what would a normal person do? Anasema hii ni hesabu ya rakaraka. Ni hesabu ya God will understand. I'm trying to stay alive. Repent later. Sin now, repent later. Justifying our sin. Because I mean, hata God unaona niko naenda kudedi.
True.
But this lady and me, I think nimefika hapo pia mimi, where I will not deny Jesus in death, even if I'm facing death. Jesus did not deny me when he was on the cross. As in, he literally died for me and he suffered for me there. And he was not ashamed of me. Said anyone who's ashamed of me, I'll be ashamed of them before my Father. He was not ashamed of me. Why should I be ashamed of him? And when that time comes, if I would have found myself in that situation, and I know it is easier said than done. I don't know if I'll ever get the chance to die for Jesus. I'm hoping it doesn't get to that. But then again, some part of me kinda, wacha tu nisiseme, I kinda hope for it. But she said no. She said, I won't learn that prayer. Nyinyi la nini, but me I won't. That is, yeah, I won't deny Jesus. Hawakupatwa. She made it out. That is how she was able to tell me that story. But at that time, akiniambia hiyo story, mi kichangu ilikuwa tu zile za asiningelan tu hiyo prayer. But yeah, after she told me what the position she had taken and she was ready to die, like literally, if they come, they'll just and kwanza I will make, they won't, are you a Muslim? I won't even say no, or I won't even say yes, but I will say I'm a Christian. I won't answer yes or no. I will say I'm a Christian. And I will. She was ready to die for it. That really challenged me, and it took me to the next level, where I am now. And maybe I get your thoughts on it, because today I want to tell a story that is a Bible story that tunaiangalianga tumesikia mara mob. But this it's a story of people who found themselves in a very similar situation. And the reason I've told this story first is to bring it home. Ndio tuone how really it was. Unajua tukisoma Bible stories tunaonanga tu au ni wale ama ni wale wa kitambo. Yeah. So what do you think before I get into my story? Ama utanipatia maono baadaye?
It's tricky.
Yeah.
Because I think we always want to justify our sin.
Yeah.
And also nothing against Muslim, because I know Islam is a peaceful religion. The same way we have rogue Christians, they also have rogue Muslims.
They have rogue Muslims, yeah.
So I always feel religion is a choice. You can't be coerced to follow it. The same way Jesus gives us an opportunity either to welcome him in our heart or not. I feel we shouldn't force people to subscribe to our religion.
Yeah.
Because I don't think
it should be a choice.
Yes,
it should be something they do willingly.
For me to force you, for example, to believe in what I believe in. Because it should be coming from your own heart that this is what I want to subscribe to. For me, honestly, based on that incident, I wouldn't choose a religion that I am forced to be in. Yes. That would be my thoughts.
Okay.
Yes, it's not really even about dying for Jesus. For me, it's about, it should be a choice I'm making. You can't force me into something.
Yes. Okay. Interesting perspective. What is yours? Tuambie hapo kwa comments. What do you think you do in that situation? And today's story is a story of 3 young men. Kuna time a few weeks ago tulipiga story ya Belteshazzar. Unajua Belteshazzar? Belteshazzar ni nani?
King Nebu.
No, hapana. Okay. Okay, yani story ya King Nebu. But do you know who Belteshazzar was
Where we
himself?
interacted with it. No. I can't
Okay,
remember.
Belteshazzar was the name that the king of Babylon gave to Daniel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we also talked about Daniel's 3 friends who we called
For us, we know them as Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
yes.
They are
Hebrew names
original names.
umesahau.
Oh, God.
Okay, yes. Ananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. And the one day too, hizi mastori za makings aliamka tu day moja and he set up a statue and it was a golden image, and it measured 60 feet high, not feet, 60 cubits and 6 cubits wide. Cubits normally were like this. This was a unit for measuring hands. So cubits were sort of different, but yeah, but seme tu hivyo. And akaita tabia tu yake chief priests, astrologers, wase wote wise men, na akasema sasa, this is what you're going to do. When anyone in my kingdom, when you hear the trumpets or the horns blown, you will fall on your knees and your face and you will worship this image. And so it was blown. And guys worshipped, they fell down and worshipped, alafu sasa wakaenda na shughuli zao. But some chief priests now manini snitch wakakuja kwa king kambia king, oh mighty king, you said that when
the trumpet blows,
yes,
everyone should bow down and
everyone
worship.
should bow down here. But there are 3 young men wenye wao wanajiona sana. And yeah, you had said, and King Nebuchadnezzar was weird. He liked threatening people with one threat. I will have them cut into pieces and their houses turned into a pile of rubble. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa threat. So akasema, you said this, aya but for this one hiyo ilikam baadaye. Nimedigress kidogo. He said I will have them thrown into a fiery furnace. And so akasema, niletea watu bana, hao ni kina nani? Wakakam. So amekuja, ameletwa watatu, Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego. Where was Daniel at this point? Ushajiuliza where Daniel was? Did Daniel bow? Was he there?
Alikuwa ametumwa another assignment.
Okay, that is exactly what is that is like 95% of scholars agree that he was sent on assignment. So he wasn't in the nation or the kingdom at that point. So his friends were alone. And so ameletwa before the king. And the king, he knows them. Si huku juzi walikuwa wamekula cabbage, wamekataa kula nyama. So nyinyi si ninawajua. Is it true that mmekataa? Despite you knowing that I have
this is the rule I've given, a command to
this
be
is
followed.
the yes mume and the guys, they yani I love this attitude and I like to adopt it in my life. We say, great king, we do not have to defend ourselves in this matter. We do not need to defend ourselves in this matter. If we will not bow to you, we will not bow to this image. We won't. And even if you throw us into that fiery furnace you're talking about, our God is able to rescue us. And he will rescue us. He will. He will rescue us. But even if he doesn't, we want you to know that we won't bow.
Wow. Confidence, what a goal.
Bro. And he's telling kwanza nawambia, you know what? I will hit that fire 7 times. And I will throw you in, I will throw you inside there. And then which God will be able to save you from my hand? Nasikia arrogance, which God will be able to save you from my hand? And then that's now they say, bro, we don't have to defend ourselves here. Hapana, hakuna. This is an issue. And I'm going back to that story of Westgate. For my friend, And for any Christian, it shouldn't be it's an issue. I wouldn't bow.
Like shouldn't be a thought.
Shouldn't be a thought.
You shouldn't entertain that thought.
I don't have to defend myself here. It's black and white. I won't do black, I'll do white. It's as simple as that.
It's clearly,
I will it's clearly defined. And the things I see Christians bowing to nowadays, money, unajua. The biggest one is money. When on a podcast like this, unaambiwa, do not talk about this. You're a Christian podcast, but do not talk about this, or we'll cut off your funding. And sasa tunaanza kuogopa, tunasema, sawa, we won't talk about it. We'll just be... That is, in a way, it is bowing, unajua. And we're not even facing death.
Yes.
Let me not give other examples due to time. But these guys decide... Kambaya bro. Na the audacity ya kufika hile place. As in, God is able to rescue me. And he will. But even if he doesn't, for whatever reason, even if he doesn't, I won't bow in this situation. Even if he doesn't. As in, ninapitia hii, but I will not. Mini dem ninapitia, nice. Umekaona kaki? It's interesting. Mini dem tumesota na kuna sponyo ananiambia for my virginity they'll give me this amount. Na kwetu ni kubaya bana. Tumenini. I won't bow. God is able to provide what we need. But even if he doesn't, I won't.
Yeah, because he's still God in my life.
Exactly. Kuna aya watoto endeni mlale. Kuna story niko nayo. My baba and my stylist ni bishti yangu. So wanakonga kadhaa. Cha nipige shout out. Anaitwa Henry Walox. Kuna time walikuwa wananiambia story za how they have been approached by men. Other men. So come ulale na mimi. And so it is na mnaandikiwa do kwanza. Mnaandikiwa be. Naambiwa to go this far, let me not say the details here. Keeping it TVPG. If you get to this point, pesa yako ni 200 Gs. Lakini like tukipita nimekuwa defined. Tukifita hapa ukikubali ina hii happen ni 400k. Like that. And huyu jamaa, he's over there and he's like mmoja what si Henry mwingine alikuwa ananiambia he went and he looked at that man's photo because that man was crazy, and he looked at it trying to get an erection. As in, man say don't need mob only mse wa world. This is not a Christian. And you know, and so they were asking me my thoughts on the matter. And I was telling them, bro, in a nutshell I was just saying I won't bow. Na hiyo time tulikuwa tumesota bro. And there are just something. So it looks like on TikTok, for you to get followers, if you're a lady, you have to have a twerk video. You can just say I won't bow. Wachana na reward juu tunasikia sijui mademo analipiwa nyumba ndio sijui akifanya nini sijui. Unaweza decide me sitadu. Wacha nilale nje basi. Kaya ni boy unaweza decide kuna vitu sitaingia mabiz fulani because I love Jesus. I won't bow. God is able to save me. Yeah. It's against my principles. God is able to save me and he will. He will. But even if he doesn't, hata nikibaki kwa hii scenario, I won't bow. Na ninajua nitapigwa mijeledi. Kwanza kuna watu wananingilianga sana. But that's what it is. And it looks like this story would have ended there. And so the king says, I'm hitting it up 7 times. 7 times inahitiwa inakuwa moto times 7.
Like more hotter than
7 times as hot. And it is so hot that the guys who grab these kids and throw them into that fire, they themselves get burned and they die from that heat. And the king says, king anaongea anasema, didn't we throw 3 men why is it that I see 4 walking around? And then he says the 4th is like a son of the gods. Or other versions say the 4th is like a son of God. Brilliant. Unajua? And they were walking in the fire and nothing was happening to them until mpaka king akasema watoeni. Na venye walitoka hawakuwa wananuka moshi. There wasn't none of their clothes. The Bible is so clear, it even says not even a hair on their head had been burnt. Nothing. Na wakatoka kwa hiyo fire. And the king kuwaona akasema enyewe, blessed be the God of these 3 kids. And you guys stood by him even in the face of all this danger. And so he issues a decree that God should be worshipped. Let me just say that it says they did not get burnt. But it does not say they did not feel the heat. Now, I'm not saying they felt it. They probably did not feel it. But let me ask, how many times have you been in a situation where you went through fire, as in ulingia kwa moto, na ukapitia, yani unajua hapa niko kwa moto, but then saa zile umetoka ndio una realize, I felt the heat. I did feel the heat of the fire, but I wasn't burnt. Nilikuwa ninapitia hizi mashida, nilikuwa na feel the heat of hizi mashida, hizi mangori, sijui rent itatoka wapi, how itatoka wapi, school fees itatoka wapi, food itatoka wapi, clothing itatoka wapi, I need this and this for this project, itatoka wapi. You felt all that heat. But at the end of the journey, ulipita ukapata haya, you guy, I felt the heat but I wasn't burnt. And that is what God calls us to. God did not promise us a simple life. Hiyo gospel ya kuambia wase njoo kwa God alafu sasa atakusort, mambo itakuwa sawa, hautawailala njaa. It's not biblical. The truth is we will go there, because when you become a Christian, you've made an enemy. And the devil is your enemy.
Actually, it is the opposite.
It is the opposite.
Once you accept the challenges,
challenges inakuwa mob.
Because now you are not conforming to the things you are okay with, because God is dealing with you. So see, for example, corruption, like ekakando, being unfair to other people, you put it aside. This I'm referring in terms of business. For example, so you see, challenges will even be more.
There will be more. You know, siku utabraibiwa. Unapata bribe ya 10M, bro, and it's just it's not even to do something, it is to ignore something.
No, yes.
Like, that is where your foundation
is supposed to do or to follow. Take a corner and then
take a corner and then you'll get you'll it's hiyo ndo time manze ule crush wako. Ile time umeamua ya sana nimeachana, hiyo ndo time anajileta anajipa anakuambia wewe mimi dai mambo, mimi nadai tu lalishe hiki kitu tusonge. Ushajipata kwa situation kama hiyo? You've been eyeing her. Ushajipata kwa situation kama wewe unajizama madem squeeze wana audacity you guy, wewe mimi nakutaka bro. Ni uniambie kitu kai naweza maiwezi tumalize. But anyway, confessions of tunafaa to do confessions episode ya confession zile vitu tumepitia. But it is up to you as a Christian to be like, I won't bow down. God will save me. He will. I do not doubt it. But in the event that he doesn't, I still won't bow down.
I feel the confidence that these people had of acknowledging who God is and knowing that this is God's will in my life. If my God's will is I will die in this fire, I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with it,
because I'm still standing by what I believe in. And many a times, and I'm taking it back in terms of, for example, when Jesus was being tempted, he was literally being given what was destined for him. The devil telling him, if you bow down to me,
give you all the
this kingdom. It was literally what Jesus was supposed to get. I feel most of us, we take shortcuts, not because we don't believe in this God.
Point.
Yet if we just held on let me say a little bit longer, would enjoy these fruits.
Yeah.
Because think of it, how for the king to acknowledge this God is the one and true God. I'm assuming it even brought favor to these people.
It did.
Rather than if they had just worshipped.
Worship to the whole.
No. We are complaining, anga taxes, anga what. You can imagine when these kings used to rule, how they were ruthless.
You guy.
And even there was one king who said, the previous one was doing this. I'll do 5 times.
My father used to beat you with whips. Me will beat you with scorpions.
Yes, like
where? Your story to topic.
So you see, I feel they even got more rewards or more blessing just because they held on much longer. Yes, it might be right now you're suffering, right now you don't see a light at the end of the tunnel, but God is with us through this. All I'm saying is, let's not believe in something we can't stand by.
Yep.
If we've chosen to die for this Jesus, let's be like him. He died for us, regardless of the guarantee Clive will accept me.
Yeah.
He died just because that's what he wanted to do. He chose death from what we shared in the previous episode.
Yeah.
He chose it by himself. Whether you follow him or not, it's okay. For us, and I feel Old Testament, they were in a bad place. For us, you see, at least Jesus has died. And
yes, you see, because the Old Testament, when we meet the Old Testament guys in heaven, we will have to answer so many questions.
Because think of it, these people having the confidence. Like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Whether he saves us or he doesn't, this is our choice and we'll stand by it.
Yeah.
You see, for us, we have the evidence.
Yeah.
We have the proof of, he died, he rose again. We know stories of different things that have happened. Now imagine when this kingdom, because I know of even nations right now, they don't know what's happening outside their nation. They only know whatever is happening inside their nation.
A big example.
Yes. Now imagine back then, assume we didn't have the social media where we could share this information and know this country, this is what is happening. So you only knew what you've interacted with. So imagine people who have not even heard of the different miracles the prophets have done. And yet these people stand by this. And you remember even back then, they didn't have access to Bible the way we have, that you can read these scrolls and whatnot. You'd find it was based on the teachings they were being given. And you being taught and believing in it and standing by it. Akimiwana tuna joke na God sahi.
Tuna jokes. What and the Christian? Tunakumbuka tutafika heaven or sort of zile za.
You had everything at your disposal.
There are cities that Jesus is talking about, and he says Sodom and Gomorrah will rise up in judgment against it. Because if they knew what you guys know, manze, those cities would still be. They would still be up to now.
But to note the interesting part, we grew up saying, no offense to anyone, that people are stupid because of lack of knowledge. We have access to information.
Now we have,
and we have more people who are more stupid
people
than
who are
how
more
it
stupid.
was.
Yani, it's dumb and dumber. it's
because of our ignorance.
We know, and we choose to not. We choose to do the thing that brings distraction. It's just weird. It's just weird. But anyway, wacha tumalizie hapo.
Yes.
Tumalizie hapo. Today's episode imekuwa too brief. And really, we just wanted to give you guys something to think about, especially for my Christians out there, even for the non-Christians. We've given you something to think about. And so let us know in the comments. What is this idol that you've almost bowed down to? Or what is this idol that is knocking on your door that wants you to bow down to it? And tell us, or give us a situation where we'd love to give these stories also here. Tell us a situation where you were in that, yani, in the face of fire, unless you bowed, but you chose not to.
And your results.
And the results. Yes. And how we are doing, just to be honest. So, wacha tumalizie hapo. Mimi nimebambika sana. It's been a good day. I thank God for today. Imekuwa amazing.
Tusiwaambie ni usiku, but ni usiku guys.
Ni usiku guys, tuende nyumbani.
Na kunanyesha.
Kesho watu wako makazi.
I know,
Wengine waliacha nguo nje.
Yeah.
My. Remember to subscribe, share, like, follow us. I am Rebel. Instagram,
I am
TikTok.
Rebel Podcast.
Yeah, and TikTok.
Same. I am
Rebel Podcast. All around. Sawa. Tuchapie Mbugi wa come to watch pamoja. Si namna hiyo my friend, ama namna gani? Wewe hiyo maneno ya hapana bana.
Let's end
hapana bana. Hiyo unaleta hapa. Unafinya computer. Subscriptions zinaongezeka.
Today.
Sasa it's been fun. Till next time, it's your boy Wesa.
Bye.
I will never get over that. Never.